Hello, hello. This is our weekly broadcast. We discuss everything that's working in SEO, AI search, all the new trends, everything new that's happening with our industry that is moving incredibly fast at this point. So we try to keep you updated, and that is our motivation to be on top of things as well, to be able to report on them. I'm Anne Smarty. I've been in SEO for more than 20 years, so I can go back and kind of compare what it was, where everything is coming from, what's new, what's actually is not good these days. That was good 20 years ago. So I have a lot of background, and it's a nice opportunity for me to kind of be in the know of what's new happening, and I'm happy that I'm able to do that with you. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this weekly shows and help us be up to date with everything that's going on. Hi, Lisa. So today with me and always is April, our director of social media outreach, our design expert, so many roles. Thank you so much. Today is actually not as much SEO topic as it usually is. So April will be able to contribute her own experience and expertise on these topics as well. So I'm always glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. We host these live streams every Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST, and every Tuesday and Wednesday morning. I also send the newsletter with the topic of these broadcasts to give you more context of what we're going to talk about. So please subscribe. It lives over at nsmarty.com. And there I have a weekly episode on anything that's going on and anything actionable that you can change and do with your marketing to kind of be um, aligned with all the changes that are going on in our industry. So please subscribe and smarty.com. Hi, Todd. Thank you for joining us. As always, we're always happy to see you. Before we go in today's topic, a quick update is Google's core update is underway right now. It usually takes a few weeks, and I think it started last week. To give you a little bit of a context for core updates, we never know what Google is doing with those. That's not anything that's happening with this update is usually not a single thing that they target. It can be intent shifts when they understand some search queries better. It can be something else when they understand what people really are satisfied with search and how that can be extended to the algorithmic solution of that satisfying that intent. So the only thing that we can do at this point is look at our analytics, look at our search console, our clients' analytics, and see if there is any impact. Quick reminder that helpful content is also part of core algorithms update. So if you were ever hit with helpful content update, that those happened 2023. 2 years ago was the first one at this point, but some of those people have not recovered yet. So if you were in any way impacted by helpful content update, you should be looking at analytics and trying to understand if you may have some signs of recovery. At this point, the update is pretty mild, at least for the sites that we are looking at. There has not been any signs of any impact so far, but it usually happens sometimes even after update is officially over. Sometimes we see a lot of fluctuations and traffic drops or declines or spikes after the update. So this week's we are going to look at analytics, our organic search numbers, and see if there was anything happening there. So a quick reminder for you, we don't have yet any case studies, any statistics, any research as to what is there anything specific Google was looking at during this core update, or is there anything that can be done to remedy any impact, but we will be definitely looking at that. So again, keep an eye on my newsletter and these live broadcasts. That our job is, as soon as we know something, we will report back to you so that you could understand if there is anything to be done with this core update. So with that, quick news from SEO community, we are going into a bigger topic, and the bigger topic that we are all have to be worried about these days is becoming a brand. And this is a very long-term and challenging task for any business. You don't have to be a global brand, you don't have to be a huge brand, but you have to be known for something. If it's something very niche and unique, you still need to have those associations if you want to remain visible online, because AI search is getting much more powerful. Many more people are using ChatGPT to ask for brand and product recommendations or restaurant local business recommendations. If you want to be found in for those searches, for those prompts, for those answers, you need to be known for something. You need to be a brand. If it's not a huge brand, if it's not an entity that Google has in their knowledge graph, you need to be knowledge base. You need to be at least discussed online, have some digital footprint online to be found by those AI platforms, including Google, that is also powered by AI at this point. You need to be known as a brand. So that's why we talk a lot about branding, and we talked about how to be discussed online, how to help grow your branded search in previous episodes of our broadcasts and newsletters. Last time we talked about creating knowledge, brand knowledge content. That is content that explains your brand in a way that Google bots, crawlers can understand what you are doing, how you different from similar solutions, what your product is good for, what kind of problems you are solving with your business. And that brand knowledge content, it can be in many forms. The more you create it, the better. It could be your about page, it could be your branded FAQ page, it could be your brand statement, it could be your terms of service, it could be your press room where you distribute and market all the news that are happening around your brand, even if those are just press releases. So all of those on-site content that you can create to better explain your brand to people and to any AI or search bots that are out there is called brand knowledge content. And that's something that lots of even huge sites are missing. Even like detailed brand about pages, usually it's like a few paragraphs of why we are, who we are, and that's it. But showing off your team, showing off people behind your team, telling the history of your brand, telling answering questions that people may be asking about your brand or similar brands. All of that content is very important these days, because that's what is going to be used to give answers to AI prompts to you. So that was last week. Check out our replay or check out my newsletter over at nsmarty.com to get some more ideas of what can be added to your site to give more context to your products and your actual business. Today is the follow-up to that topic. Today is how we can help AI bots and search bots more by giving them even more information about your brand, and that is promoting your promoters. Who are people who may promote your business? That could be your peers who interview you, if it's a small business, you may not have that many fans that talk about you, but you can have a lot of partners, a lot of businesses you're dealing with, a lot of people, peers who you talk to, other local businesses that could be bloggers who write about the area, who write about your niche, and they may be interested in your stories. They may interview you, they may talk to you, they may invite you to podcasts. That how we promote our business. For example, we are not a big business, we are also a small business, so we know for sure that even small businesses can have some visibility online, and that is from getting out there to talk to people, even going to conferences or being on webinars, or hosting webinars, talking to people through podcasts or written interviews. All of those could be your promoters. And since I don't know how many people watching us today know that story, but I was very much into guest blogging 15 years ago at this point, and I would write for other publications, and I would have a platform that facilitated that exchange of expertise with bloggers, so people could go there and find blogs to write for. And that was always my huge recommendation. Don't just write the article, see it live and leave. Do your best to promote that content that has your byline, or maybe that's in your interview. Do your best. You have your own community, you have your own social media channels. Promote your promoters. Have always been, that tactic has always been my biggest recommendation to anyone for any kind of outbound marketing. Anytime you have a mention, even if it's a byline with your name on it, even if there is no link, but that's your brand out there, promote it as much as you can. And at that point, there are many benefits to that tactic, because if you do your best, if you give that visibility to your mention on someone else's site, you will get more and more invites, because people will see how much you appreciate any opportunity to be visible, and you will get repeated invites from that publication as well for even more opportunities. That's the basics of networking. You promote your promoters. Same thing with reviews. If you are e-commerce businesses, a local business, if you are being discussed on Reddit or any other discussion platform that is out there, make sure that if there is a positive mention of your product, of your brand, of your customer service, promote it on your branded social media channels in any way you can. That could be a tweet, that could be a visual visualization of that good review. If you can't tag people who promote you, tag them on social media so that they could see they have a credit and they are appreciated. Again, that's great networking. That also means more positive reviews coming your way, because if happy customers see that on social media, they think, hey, this brand cares about great reviews. They will promote, they appreciate them, and they will be more likely to share great reviews. It could be the comment to your social media post, for example, and you can promote that further as well. So helping positive reviews be more visible is also promoting your promoters. That involves few steps. They are all easy, they are ongoing. That social media listening to your brand mentions, that's the first step. I use BuzzSumo, or there are many other great platforms that can help you with that. I don't think Google Alerts, I'm not sure, I think it's still there, but it's not as efficient and fast as third-party platforms like BuzzSumo. Make sure you keep an eye on your brand mentions as well as your competitors' brand mentions there, because understanding what kind of mentions your competitors are generating is also very helpful for you to avoid their mistakes, to avoid unhappy customers, to kind of position your product the way that it fills the gap many competitors' customers are not happy with. So it's also very, very helpful as well. So make sure you listen to your brand mentions as well as your competitors' brand mentions. And once you see a great review, that's when you can push it every way you can on your own side as the testimonial on Twitter or X, on Instagram, on Facebook, even on TikTok, depending on where you have your branded social media channels. Every way you can, in the form you can. You can usually it's great visuals. That's what we usually do, but it can even be a slideshow, like a video slideshow of many reviews, and that could be a video format as well. So as much as you can, be appreciative of each and every positive mention of your brand. That's how you control that sentiment, by helping positive things be surfaced more, be visible more, and also helping. And that way, you have many more reviews and testimonials and positive mentions coming your way. It's also a great way to hide, okay, to not to make negative reviews, because I think every brand or everyone has at least a few unhappy customers, and it's inevitable. Sometimes it's misunderstanding or something else. But if you promote the positive sentiment, those negative reviews are not going to be that visible as well to people and AI and search bots as well. So it's again not a new tactic, and that's my observation. We don't have much more, anything new that is being introduced as a into marketing strategies. The priority, like is shifting. Sometimes 5 years ago, 10 years ago, we could get along online without being a brand. We could be just findable by keywords. These days, being a brand, even if it's not a huge brand, but being a unique, known brand, is the only way to be found using AI search. So if you want to remain visible and findable, those tasks that involve any kinds of building your brand, building your knowledge, building your brand knowledge, building all of that, those become much more important than they used to be 5 years ago. Even those are not new tactics. With that, I'm out of breath, but we have a few questions with April to discuss. If any of our viewers want to ask any questions, they are always welcome. That's why these videos are live. We want to answer your questions right away. And I think I'll start with a quick question to April, because she's our social media guru and she knows that better. How do you use social media to help more reviews, more positive feedback coming your way? Like, how do you encourage people without being too salesy? How do you encourage people on social media, listeners on social media, to talk positively about your brand?
I think the first step is just like treating them like human beings, just being appreciative of them and engaging with them. Just like building relationships kind of naturally. And sometimes you can just ask them like, hey, we really appreciate it if you can give us, like, if you had like a positive experience with them, you could just ask them, like, we really appreciate it if you can give us like a review or something. Or even if it's not like an intentional review, like even if they leave some kind of positive feedback, I've definitely done this a bunch of times for our brand and other brands. If like leave positive feedback, you can just take that and turn it into like some kind of visual to share. I know we've done that recently with one of About You. Yeah, just it all starts with just being a part of the community and just being friendly and helping them, and then in turn they'll help you by expressing how their appreciation, I guess, in various ways. So yeah, just gotta be part of the conversation.
Exactly. And being part of community, part of the conversation whenever you're brought up is very powerful. Sometimes there is a negative conversation, let's say on X, Twitter. And I've seen that a lot when brands chime in and start apologizing, not being protective, but admitting that they
Mhm.
may have done something wrong and providing actual solutions. Those people that were initially miserable, unhappy, and angry leave positive reviews in the end, saying how much they appreciate the help and how surprised they are that brands even care about their problems. So just being there, you can turn those negative reviews into positive reviews, and that's how you make more impact on your positive sentiment online. So that's very powerful. Just listening, and anytime you can, helping them in a very timely manner, like not 1 year after this happened, but maybe the same day. If you start talking to those people and help them, they may become your actual advocates, and they will go to other social media channels and they will join other conversation and say, hey, I had the same problem, but this brand helped me and this is how they helped me, so you can do that too. So it's a very good exercise, has always been ever since social media was born, listening to your brand mentions and answering, trying to genuinely help, not just leaving some canned responses saying, hey, we appreciate you, here is your customer service number. Not that way, but actually being genuinely helpful always goes a long way with promoting your brand as well.
I think it's going to be just going to come even more important now as things get more automated and AI is taking over, and the human experience is online feels like it's going away more and more. So that you can like really stand out by still just treating your customers and your clients and your partners, just treating them like human beings and genuinely listening, like you said. Like that just really shines through all the automated stuff that people are tired of it. Like they're just they want, at the end of the day, people want to feel like they matter still. And so just just being, you won't always get positive reviews out of it, but that's not the point. The point is just to treat everybody with respect and appreciation.
Exactly. So I know you had a few questions too.
Mhm.
We can start there and then have maybe
So
more.
so what are some like ways for new brands to start like finding and building relationships with promoters?
Just like with the previous question, the fundamental thing to do is just being part of the community wherever they are. It can be different B2B, that's LinkedIn and X, Twitter. I think Blue Sky is also getting a little bit more impactful. So it's just being there. If it's like e-commerce, that's usually Instagram, TikTok, wherever your customers are and your customers influencers are. If you are just there responding to questions, being part of that community, not just about your brand, just being just part of those conversations that are relevant to what you're doing and where your expertise is, or where your niche is the fundamental step to any tasks when it comes to social media marketing. When it comes to finding promoters, it's can depend on your business. Sometimes it's actually asking about reviews from your customers. Like if you know that the customer is very happy, you can just, can you provide a testimonial? That's usually, I've never done that, but people would ask me. I haven't done that, not because I don't think it's right, but because I usually cannot find the right words to do that. I'm just too shy like that. But when businesses ask me for a review, I always do, like to my lawyers, accountants, whoever is helping me, I always leave positive reviews wherever I can. So that is one method. Another method is hashtags. Branded hashtags usually help. If people have if e-commerce sites, that's usually for them on Instagram or TikTok. If there is a branded hashtag, people see them and they're curious and they want to participate as well. Or you can just ask your customers, like unpacking videos or wearing the products or using the products. If you do that, use our branded hashtags and we will be thanking you, or will be, maybe there is some kind of deal coupon for that. So that is another way, especially for retail and e-commerce sites. It's not often, like I said, proactive. It's not that you always have to ask for that. Sometimes it's this snowball impact when people see you and they see other people leaving reviews for your brand and business. They usually do the same. So it's only difficult at the beginning. And if you do your best promoting all those reviews and testimonials, that's also always appreciated, and it encourages other customers to participate and send you something and at least say thanks to you, and then that conversation can lead to more reviews. So the beginning, yes, it's difficult sometimes, and I always urge all my startup friends to be very careful with that, because I don't want to be too salesy and proactive with that. But slowly and carefully usually goes a long way with other people just chiming in on their own. But again, promoting your promoters is a great way to start that snowball effect when people more and more of them want to participate.
Yeah, that's something that I've been doing for a really long time. Like even just like as like I run like a lot of interviews with various people in the industry for like a specific client, even if there weren't like a big deal. Like I would still like be like, hey, you interested? Because even if they were like relevant to the industry, I'd be like, hey, are you interested in an interview? And then they would usually be like super excited, and then I could take quotes from those interviews and then repackage them into different visuals and stuff, and even if the person didn't have a huge following, it was still like create like a snowball effect, because they were excited about it, and then that excitement spread, and they also had relevant knowledge. Like there's all kinds of hidden gems out there, and people who know their stuff that might not have a huge presence. So you just gotta look, and just like I said before, like make people feel like they matter. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very important. And I have never checked the statistics of any podcast or YouTube channel that wanted an interview with me. I would always say yes, especially if that's something, it's an interesting topic, which shows that they did some research and they don't just ask me, hey, would you like to talk about SEO? That usually is a red flag, because it shows that people didn't really want me for something special, like for my expertise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an SEO, and that's like I can't email to anyone. We want you on our podcast talking about SEO search. Those generic emails I probably could ignore, especially if I'm very busy. But when it's a genuine email, I don't care about the numbers. If the channel has 2 or 200,000 followers, I would definitely have that conversation, because that's a nice email, and they actually cared about my specific interview and about my specific expertise and what I can contribute, how I can help their audience. So even in that, like being a human matters, because it's still like, even on LinkedIn, you can always tell if it's a or if it's a human. So it's always still, I don't know how smart AI is at this point in terms of being human-like, but it's always so obvious still.
Yeah, it's still kind of tell.
Yeah, when an email was written to like everyone, like 10 or 100 people, which is also like, it's I'm not saying that if you invite people to be interviewed, you have to be very, very personalized. It's usually like to like it's mutual benefit in those interviews. But if you make an effort and you realize that those people on the other side are also busy, and they may ignore your email just because it's not it, so I don't look at numbers. My bottom line is I look at relationships. I look at human interactions. And if you want to if you as a brand want to develop your YouTube channel or your podcast or anything, I think that method matters a lot. It may go a long way if you just not just invite all the influencers in your industry, but actually do your research and show them that we know exactly why you would be a great fit for our podcast. You would get many more promoters that way. And like you said, April, you can then tag them on social media, repurpose their answers on social media, and have even more and more ongoing interactions with those people that can grow into long-term relationships, and they can become your brand advocates after that. So that's a great way. And just we are very close to ending. I wanted to ask April for some examples of her helping with that, promoting your promoters or protecting client reputation on social media, because it is very important, if you're not doing that in-house, to find the right people to do that for you. Unless you do that right, that could backfire a lot. So if that would be helpful for us, like as an example of how to do it right.
All right. So one thing I'm working on right now, as an example, to promote our services is, since we make like a lot of digital viral assets, infographics for our clients, and we promote them on Reddit. We put like a lot of effort and research and to make sure that they're really authentic and helpful. And Reddit has kind of trained us to be that way, especially because they're so critical. So I'm gathering like positive comments about our clients' infographics, and I'm going to create like a collage of sorts of them all to kind of showcase like how our clients' infographics are received on Reddit. And there's been some really fantastic comments that I've found so far, like, wow, this is really helpful, and they really good stuff. So I think that's like an example. And just sourcing like just positive things that you people say.
Yeah, so exactly, and it's not about that's a great example, because those positive comments are not directly about our brand, but they are about products that we create. And that is also something you can you can broadcast further, because how many people could see those comments? They are genuine, but they're very well hidden in Reddit. And you can make an effort to kind of surface them and promote them further, to show these are about what we create. So that's a great idea as well. And with that, thank you so much. I hope you liked our idea. Next time, we will hopefully discuss the core algorithm update, but I'm not sure if it's going to end at that point. If not, we will find more cool topics to discuss about AI search SEO. So please join us Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST, and subscribe to nsmarter.com to be always updated with our cool weekly topics. And hopefully we'll get some guests at some point when I get more organized with this. Thank you so much, and have a great week, everyone. Thank you, April, and bye-bye. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.